Okay, hello. Let's get started. Test my audio, test my stuff, and get going. Latest videos, come on. Live, where is it? There it is. Hello. Test my audio. Good. Audio's working. Okay. Let's get started. I had a little appointment earlier today, but I think I can do a couple hours. I want to kind of move forward. I had, where did I do this? That was yesterday. This was yesterday morning, I guess. 3/9. What time was that? 2 a.m., 2:44, that is it. Oh yeah, that was yesterday morning. Did not happen. I did it the night before. That's what it was. Yeah, so my last commit in my last session was at 2:45 in the morning, local time. And I predicted, and I was right, I had a massive open source hangover the next day, which is to say an open source hangover means you sit at a computer, you're drinking coffee, you're stone sober, and you write code until way too late. And then you wake up you wake up exhausted. That happened. I certainly have no regrets, but I did have my open source hangover as predicted. However, I'm super happy. It was like a blur. And we got this PDF stuff working. So let me dive in and talk about where we are and what I'm doing and all this. Where is my browser? Do I have a browser? Let's kind of start. Where do I want to start? Let me do like the big picture start today. I don't know why. And kind of zoom in. I'll keep it super extremely fast. So the main project I've been working on for ages, Chatfield here, is a spin-off or a side quest of this kind of broader, just exploration or experimentation at best, of this concept of what would Vibe DevOps look like? What would Vibe ML Ops look like? What would Vibe Ops look like as distinct from Vibe programming? The basic idea is, well, the consequences, the stakes are higher for Vibe Ops. There's reputational risk, there's costs and things like that. And so one of the kind of conclusions I came to is if let's say Claude Code is doing all the ops in this example here, the human is saying, hey, I want you to do this, and it makes Claude Code do that. The only way for ops, it's too complex. There's no prompt and then you're done. It must be kind of more interactive. And then ultimately, I think there should be building structure into the conversation and kind of building it out interactively, the scope, rather than saying, well, it all must be done now. We need to make our spec and then we're done. I think the way this works and will work is kind of more like humans, where it's iterative or interactive, and it's saying, well, what about this? And then you say, well, here's how I think. The human is saying, here's how I think, and it's going back and forth to the agent, right? So there's a conversation happening to, let's say, scope out some work. Well, which cloud are we pushing to? Is it Azure or Google Cloud or so on? All of that is kind of interactive conversation. So the side quest off of Claudey with a Chance of DevOps is Chatfield. So Chatfield is the main project that I've been working on. The idea with Chatfield is it's like forms. There's fields, and those fields have values, or there's keys, and those keys have values. That mental model, that idea, we're bringing that to a conversation. So in a web application with HTML, I would say, well, here's my form, and here's all the fields, and that's what needs to be collected: a name, and address, and phone number, right? Something like that. If it's a document, it could just be an actual piece of paper, and name and address and phone number are there, and we all understand that. And with Chatfield, we're defining everything in that way. We're saying, oh, here, there's a destination and there's a budget in this case. But Chatfield says, well, all right, rather than render this into a web browser or print this out as a PDF, we are going to have a conversation around it. So Chatfield drives the conversation to say, hi, where are you going? Where's your destination? What's your budget? And that sort of thing. The idea here, here's the loop for how Chatfield works. Chatfield is back end only, not really front end. As an application developer, Chatfield computes what should the application say to the user next. What string of text should be presented to the user in this conversation, right? So Chatfield will tell you what to say to the user next, and then the user will say something. Here's some user input, and then we loop again, and then you tell Chatfield, here's what the user said. That's the kind of loop. Very simple, strings in, strings out. But all along the way, Chatfield is gathering up the conversation and building up all this this form data, and also validating and potentially transforming that data from colloquial messages that the user sends into useful data for an application, integers, strings, objects, or dictionaries, that type of thing. That's Chatfield. Chatfield is in both Python and TypeScript. And because of that, it runs in a server environment. You can run Python or TypeScript as a server. And then in the browser, you can run TypeScript as well. So Chatfield is wherever you need it as an application developer. I really feel strongly that if you're building software SDKs or APIs, you must ship Python and TypeScript. That's just simply a cost of doing business now. The size of the Python only community who is building with AI, with LLMs, let's say, cannot be ignored. And the size of the TypeScript only community who are not using Python, they're TypeScript only, that is also too large to ignore. So each of these kind of isolated, of course, many projects and shops are hybrid and cross and all of that. That's great. But each alone, the Python only people are too numerous to ignore, and the TypeScript only people are too numerous to ignore. And so Chatfield is built on LangGraph and LangChain, and LangGraph and LangChain do both support both languages, and so does Chatfield. That's the idea. So where I am is, let me pull up the, I guess the final thing I haven't said in a long time is these video streams themselves, Google, YouTube stream, is really for posterity, just for recording, for enjoying the open sourceness, more than any specific goal. Someone's calling me on the phone. Let me just mute, and I'll pull Okay, I'll restore myself here. I just had a phone call. Sorry about that. I think I can cut this dead air out of YouTube for posterity. And so, well, let's move forward. I was looking up, someone called me and we spoke about how do you make agents work? And my answer is there are some techniques and orchestration techniques. Here's one of them that I've been into. I think I've streamed and looked into this in my stream. But I also believe that this is just simply massively in a state of being defined right now. The way I think about it is people wrote lots of web applications before they invented MVC, where you have a kind of well understood stack, the database, the web, the data tier, the web tier, and the like visual tier, or the model, the view, and the controller, or whatever. That stack is super well understood. That's a whole thing now. That's like the rule of thumb. When you start a project, the question is, why not do MVC, right? Roughly speaking. And so there was 10 or 15 years that we built web apps before people really made MVC up like a professional standard. And I think kind of the same thing is happening for AI-driven agents. It's a thing, but it is also in flux and just changing. And for all we know, the next Ruby on Rails could come out next week, and we as a profession realize that that's the new thing. So let me just get back into writing some code now that okay, I have API errors. This is my dang API key. I don't believe this is ridiculous. I thought so. When I run the test suite in JavaScript, it's passing, and when I run the test suite in Python, it is not. So I don't know about this quota stuff. Rate limit? I don't believe it. And I don't even know if I care at the moment. We're trying to do PDFs in a foreign language. We're trying to apply for fun stuff in Asia, even though we don't speak the language. That's the fun mission. I want to take a picture of a doctor's office onboarding form. I want to jump in my car and drive to the doctor's office and keep my eyes on the road and be safe, and talk to the software and say, hey, get this form done for me. And it'll say, all right, I got your social security number, but I don't know your spouse's, name or something like that. And through talking through Chatfield, you complete the form. And when you're parking in the parking lot at the doctor's office, you can tell I've moved out of New York. We've got driving and parking lots back in my life. When you're parking at the parking lot, you've got that PDF completed. That's the mission. That's the goal. Mostly just because I love PDF and forms. Yeah, I'm just going to wait on this. This was passing yesterday exactly. OpenAI saying my quota, and then the test validation here is passing in TypeScript. So I may have like an API key issue, or I don't even know. And at the moment, I don't care. I'm just going to let this sit and just get some, move forward in the, I don't want to shave yaks and get into side quests on side quests here. So I'm going to hope that if we just ignore this, it's going to go away. And if it doesn't, then we'll just fix it. I was just going to fix API keys here in OpenAI, but I don't care. I want to move. There's a ticket in here to move Chatfield to support through LangChain, support all of the LLMs, which LangChain supports. And then, of course, also OpenRouter is in this project. We've got OpenRouter. I've got API keys. I can use OpenRouter to query Gemini and all these other sorts of things. There is also OpenLLM. OpenLLM's got to be in here. LiteLLM, sorry, LiteLLM, LITELM. LiteLLM is awesome. LiteLLM is basically OpenRouter for your open source running it yourself. And LiteLLM is awesome. The way browser-based Chatfield works is through LiteLLM. The idea is what you will not do as a web application is publish a web application, users log in, and then they're querying OpenAI separate from your tech, your stack. There's all sorts of bad reasons why you don't want that. Security kind of at the top of that list. And the point is, no, it should feel like the OpenAI API, but the browser, this user's application should query my system. And I'm running an OpenAI API. And LiteLLM does that perfectly. And then LiteLLM could forward that to real OpenAI or forward it to a different backend like Anthropic, or run local ones. That LiteLLM is that open source open router. So let's get into it. I want to make some progress on these forms. So what are we doing? Do we have release notes? I love my morning release notes. I can't remember. Fix image files, incorrect media type. I think that they've had 2 releases. Azure AI Foundry? Oh no. Oh no. What's an AI Foundry? Uh-oh. Oh, Cloud. Oh yeah, we saw this. They got Bedrock for Azure. Azure's Bedrock is Foundry. Love it. And then include / usage. Fixed race condition, don't care. Vertex, cool. Okay, none of that's super crucial, so let's start. All right. What will I do? Oh yeah, let's start with these small bugs that came out yesterday. Oh, I know what I want to do. And highlight the published plugin in the README. Yeah, that's perfectly good. I could actually just get Claude Code started on that. Pardon me. Let's just get Claude Code started on that. What is it? PDF. I have to cough. I'm so sorry. I have my allergies here. This is always on top. Pardon me. Let me go off and start getting some velocity here. So the PDF, what are we doing? PDF. Not the commands. Let's start here. Here. Correct. See that what is it? .claude, whatever it is. .claude, yeah, plugin. What the plugin does, what skills it brings. Do I want skills? Yeah, let's just start there. What skills it has. How to like, what is it? Install the plugin. Or what is it called? What do they call it? Marketplace. How to prompt it, and or use the /PDF command. All right, off we go. So that was a goal of mine. So that'll be easy. As usual, it's not clear to me. I mean, I could have almost written it. A friend of mine, one of my longtime friends, kind of, he's like way more, probably the most skeptical, AI skeptical person in my life right now. A friend of mine who we built a lot of stuff together. He told me to ask myself, every time you prompt this thing, just ask, could I have done it myself, at what speed? And so it's been on my mind. And recently, in another recent stream, I took like a long time, the longest I can recall, probably over an hour, writing a huge prompt for these big changes. And it was not disastrous, but it did not work whatsoever. Even Claude Code, I've said a million times, I love it not because the code is good, because it is not. I love it not because the code is correct, because it is not. I love it because the code is delivered in 60 seconds. It's the real-time characteristic of these things that's the value. Correct versus incorrect and good versus bad is, I think, to a large extent, not a useful dimension to think about coding agents and AI, like specifically using AI to make software and operate and build technology. It's the real-timeness. So the bad news is, no, it's not a brilliant PhD level programmer. It's just not. The benchmarks are not, they may pass those benchmarks, but then that just tells me these benchmarks don't track to the job, right? There's more to the job than that. So that's fine. I'm sure I'm sure the whole community, the whole ecosystem, the whole profession will improve that along the way, of course. But meanwhile, in circumstances where you want where getting something in 1 minute is valuable, then this is already instantly valuable as it is. So for example, I've been talking a lot about primary versus secondary code. You could imagine an application is the primary code and the test suite is the secondary code. Oh, let me go on video so I can wave my arms around. The application is the primary code and the test suite is the secondary code. I think the ratio of secondary code to primary code is going to change because secondary code's super awesome. A test suite is super awesome. It's just not the thing. You don't ship it to customers. You don't ship your test suite to customers. You use your test suite to confirm to yourself all sorts of things, to prove all sorts of things to yourself. So it's valuable. They're just not directly valuable. And so I think there's way, way, way lower risk to, if there's a bug in your CI/CD itself, then a build doesn't ship out. You write code, you push it, and it doesn't actually ship, and then you fix your CI/CD bug. Generally speaking, you can quietly have that problem, and that's not customer facing, right? That's not reputational risk in general. That's where these things are super valuable. Okay, so this is way too much. Way too much. No, I don't like this. No, I don't like this at all. No. Okay. So. Possibly in translating it, tell it to enforce or double check the form content. I definitely want to move into like PlantML. I want to do PlantML right now. I love PlantML, these language models. I don't know if people are using it out there. PlantML is a massively underappreciated domain-specific language, DSL, for these things. And then, so let's just read the diff there. Fine, let's just take that. No, I'm not going to commit it. Let me edit it real quick. I don't like it. Let's do it. Let's change it. What are we doing? Okay, so it's not that. It's not that. Let's get this looking good. Like that. Okay. It's not that. It is. Where's my diff? Wait, is the diff way at the bottom? Okay, that's bad. Claude Code plugin. The Chatfield marketplace for Claude Code. Whatever. The Chatfield marketplace. includes a plugin for completing, includes a plugin to complete PDF forms through conversation. You have with Chatfield, right? Perfect. No, that is terrible. My friend Jeroen was right. It was a waste of time to me. So to install it, let me find it. I saw another marketplace. Where was that? I saw a great one. Plugin. Let's say Jeremy Longshore. I think this was it. Claude Code Plugins Plus. I think this might be it. I think this is it. Jeremy Longshore, congratulations on 222 commits. That's awesome. The first 100 commits is so much fun. The first 1,000 commits is a lot of fun. 254 production ready. Yes, yes, yes. This was definitely it. That's it. That's it. That's it. It's like that. We're doing that. We're doing that. What does he say? Latest 80K orchestrator plugin. Okay. We're doing that. We're just taking that. We're just going to take it. Plugin/plugin marketplace ad. I'm JHS and we are Chatfield. Oh, I see. Plugin install. DevOps-automation pack. Let's see how that works. Let's go see how that's pretty cool. Let's do it totally by command line. That's not a bad idea. So here's my user. Purple represents my user. Let's just clean out all the forms we were working on. So, I know what I'll do. I'll say Claude. Let's just delete it out. /plugins, marketplace, whatever. Oh, I know what I want to do. First, uninstall the plugin. Uninstall. Then, this happened. Then remove the marketplace. This is the sea legs. This is the like little nitty gritty Claude Code sea legs that I'm excited to kind of bake into, you know, my muscle memory. Sorry to mix tons of metaphors there. So it's all gone. So now let's just confirm /marketplace. So there are no plugins. There are no there are no marketplaces. Good. So then let's see how to do it from the CLI then, right? Oh, it's not from the CLI. It's from here. So you go, let's just copy and paste, make sure this all works. /plugin /marketplace. Copy, paste. Wonderful. Good. Perfect. So then it's at Claude Code. Let me just go read it. Jeremy Longshore /Code. Why is this not the same as that? That's what I don't understand. So we'll try it at Claude Code Plugins Plus. Let's read his, what is it? .claude, yeah, .claude plugin. Marketplace.extended, marketplace.json. So here's his marketplace. So that's a package. That's a package. So Claude Code Plugins Plus is a package. Okay. But then why does he say, I mean, there's no way there's a bug. It's like the top. Where's this DevOps automation pack come from? Okay. Is that going to work? It's not going to work. I've done this before. Claude Code's not so great at knowing its own user manual and telling you. There was a massive one. I asked, how do I export all of this context window? And it said, oh, oof. There's a couple of ideas, but nothing concrete, you know? And then I glanced at some stuff that you can just do /export. So it did not know to tell me to do /export. So whatever. Claude Code guide. Wait. What is this Claude Code Guide? Where'd this come from? I was just describing. Is that a tool? Is that a new tool? What the heck is that? What is that? It's a tool call. Wait a second. Zebburn? Is this the same thing? I think this may not. Correct. There's no way. This is a project. I don't know if that's the same as this. I can ask it. Something I did with Chatfield, which Claude Code has not solved yet, is I can tell it, hey, what are all your tool calls you've got? Plugin name at. Okay, so you go plugin name at marketplace. That sounds. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to make it tell me, what is this Claude Code Guide? And where did it come from? What annoys me is, why is this the first time the Claude Code Guide popped up? I've been asking Claude Code how to use it for ages. And I did not notice it in the, release notes. Read, write, edit, command execution. What is this? What is Claude Code Guide? Lookup/plugin. That's awesome. Is it third party? It's not a standalone tool. It's a specialized agent type. Oh, you launch with the task tool. Okay. When you use the task tool, you specify a sub-agent type. Okay. So it must be built in. So Claude Code Guide. Oh, look, here it is. The available agent types. Oh, here they are. So status lines. So weird. So Claude Code Guide. Okay. And when did Claude Code Guide the agent? Yeah, totally. I get it. Yeah, I get it. General purpose, explore, plan, Claude Code Guide. Yeah. Now they violated their own. Oh, maybe for agents, it's different from skills. The guidance is gerunds, right? We're doing gerunds, but okay. SDK. Yep. All right, wonderful. So it's built in. Okay. That's good because it doesn't call it enough for me. Okay, so let's keep going. So that's the Claude Code Guide. So then the way it's going to work, I should know how it works now. So plugin install. It's going to be. Stop it. It's going to be my. What is the name of my plugin? Filling PDF forms at JHS/Chatfield. I believe that's the command. That's how that works. Let's do that. Let's copy and paste, make sure that works. Copy. So here we are. No plugins. No plugins. Let me just exit. And then I'm just going to paste. So let's see if that works. Come on, Schwartz. Sure. Done. Restart. Okay. Well, let's do one. Let's see if it knows. Let's see if it can do one. What form do I want? Let's open up a has. Oops. Come on. Okay. Yeah. Where is that? Let's open up a form. Yeah, this looks good. Let's try it. Formulars. Let's do formulars. Copy. So here we are, Claude. And I say help. Come on, Schwartz. Is the Claude Code skill working well? Yes. Perfect. So that README is good. So let's check that in. That README works. So that's how you install it. Let's do this. Claude Code plugin. Add the marketplace. Add the Chatfield marketplace. So it'll be like that. And then I want, let's do that. Add the Chatfield plugin. Like that. Perfect. So to use, to use, help me, let's say complete. The plugin extracts form fields, interviews you. The plugin, let's say ascertains, understands, which is not really strictly speaking true, but let's go, everybody. So it interviews you conversationally and produces a completed .done file. Supports both fillable and non-fillable PDFs. Yeah, we'll brag about that slightly. Whoops. Fillable and non-fillable PDFs. With text content or without. Yeah. We'll speak your language. Basically. Okay, wonderful. Now that's way too far in the bottom. The point is, the experiment is the Claude Code marketplace and plugin system like a professional, like a new professional, like meeting ground to share software and technology and stuff like that? That's the point. I mean, they clearly want it to be. Is it a viable way to basically publish software? That's the point, running the travel planner. So let's move it to after the quick start, right? Core concepts. Let's paste it here, and then we're done. Yeah. All right, so we're taking that. So let's take that. Document the, what do you call it? Off we go. Okay, so if I push that, let's push it. That'll be fun. So close it. Oh, I think it was just asking me a weird question. So Claude Code Guide. Interesting. I don't know why this project exists. It's 200 commits though. Maybe it goes back. Interesting. Sync release notes. Oh, nice. It looks like it's pulling from upstream then. Okay, cool. Let's get out of there. Let's get out of here. Plug in wire. Nope. Right. Foundry. What? So this is me. So let's go to Chatfield. So now it goes Chatfield, what it is, quick start, how to do it in TypeScript, and then the plugin. The Chatfield marketplace for Claude Code includes a plugin to complete PDF forms through conversation. Let's say this, marketplace, delete, delete, delete. What do I want? Includes a plugin. Includes a plugin to complete PDF through conversation. Boom, full stop. We're done. That's it. So let's take that. And then, no, git commit dash dash min. So we'll, nobody look. Nobody look. Okay, we just forced push, so everybody's happy. Okay. Fine, simple. Add the Chatfield Marketplace. Add the Chatfield PDF plugin. Yep. To use. It's not /PDF, but that's okay. The perfect's the enemy of the good. Let's move forward. I want to get some progress on this XML stuff. That's huge. Here's what I want. Clear it up. Here's what I want about XML. Oh, and I need to make sure I make my next. I think I have it. Sorry, I have a time commitment. In 20 minutes. Hey, Google, set a timer for 12 minutes. All right, I need to wrap up. So let's see, what can I get done in 12 minutes? It is, yeah, it's this XML stuff. Where was that? Let's find that first of all. What was that, like best practices or something? Did I clone it out? Skills, MCP. Where did I get that? It was, no, it wasn't. It was not skills. Git fetch upstream. Let's see if anything changed. Nope. It was that best practice. No, not the public repository. It's got to be in my history somewhere. Agent skills. There's a massive like best practices basically. How skills work. Let's read it. XML. They were way into XML. Use XML. Here it is. Prompt engineering. Yeah, here it is. Overview. Here it is. Thinking models, no. Let's copy the markdown. Okay, we got the markdown. I remember what I did. I just did it like this. Opd. There's no skills. Oops, skills. Documented. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Maybe I... Wait, Claude skills best practices. No. It was like prompting. Grep XML. Skill authoring best practices. XML. For simple edits, modify the XML directly. Nope, that's not it. Claude reads. Nope. No. Nope. Okay. And that's it? Oops, grep-l. So that's it. So then let's do this. Touch. Prompting. Let's just do this. What do they call it? Prompt engineering. Oops. Lowercase. Okay, so let's go just put that in there. So now there's a new file called prompt engineering. Let's just paste in all that stuff. So I'll just take that. Okay. So we're going to pull that from this URL here. Paste. Let's just try that. Does that work? I don't want a bad URL in my... That works. No, it doesn't. Prompt engineering cloak. Nope, let's take that overview. That overview is actually better. Wait, prompt engineering. Let's stick with that overview. That overview is better. Whatever. Okay, so that's in. All right, with that in there, I can make Claude Code. um, to the, what do I want? It's to the plugin, right? Filling, that's what it is, filling. Like propose changes, propose improvements, right? And then audit and propose. Off we go. So let's see if it can apply, so there's a couple of things. I want it to do that in general, and then there's a specific one I want to get into. Let's just run Claude again. And I know exactly what I want to say. I want to say read the process of the PDF of the, what is it called? Filling. So this is the skill. Yes. Read the, I'm going to say audit, or read all of that. Next, produce a PlantML like flow chart, or produce a PlantML. What am I trying to say? Like capturing the flow and logic and of, yeah, let's do it. So I want PlantML. And then the idea is in this skill, I'm going to put this PlantML in there. I really suspect PlantML is a great way to represent a flowchart in a really dense language. It's a domain specific language basically. So it's this XML stuff, and it's based on UML. If I remember, it's a subset or something like that of UML, which is this massive XML language for talking about work, talking about ops and work and stuff like that. And then PlantML is, to the extent that I know PlantML, I haven't worked with it extensively. What I have seen is these language models generally, with OpenAI, I've had it do really good PlantML. And then from PlantML, you can render that out to a nice image and show people. Although my intention here is to leave it that way and say, hey, language model, here's the basic structure about how things work. Oh, and especially the validation steps and loops to be explicit the LLM does not 100% diligently enforce the checklist and validation steps currently. Oops, I misspelled currently. Let's just let it slide. Okay. Architecture.plantUML. Okay. Plant UML diagram, wonderful. Good. Wait, workflow? Oh, of the skills, I see. Perfect. You read the skill. It read how to convert. It read the references. Wonderful. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. Oh, and then it updated it. Make the validation steps and enforcement loops more explicit. Okay, so this is not dry. That's maybe a risk here. Okay. But make the validation. and looping back part of the structure. Right? Did I misspell structure? Dry it up. Dry it up. No, we don't want, yeah, I don't want to rewrite the code in a new language. I don't want to go that far. This is good though. So let's check the next part, or let's check, oh, implement high priority improvements. Here it is, here it is, here it is. Good, good, good. Yeah, XML stuff. Wonderful, wonderful. So it read the best practices. Geez, where does it start? Recommended improvements. Let me go off camera and read this real quick, and then I can wrap up for this short session today. Whoops, that's my mute. Let me read it full screen here. Based on my analysis, where does it start? Filling PDF forms. And the filling PDF forms plugin. The documentation is functionally solid. Okay. Yeah, XML tags. Oh, good. More. Yeah, examples. I read this. I think they were saying, don't talk about it. Just show examples. So I think I may be willing to go back that way. In the past, I've had examples, and then I said, Claude Code, why did this go wrong? And it said, oh, your example's too intense. It stuck to your example too closely. So whatever. Okay, explicit thing. Oh, okay. So extracting 4 fields doesn't have to be brief. In the agents, okay. I don't know if I like this. Mm-hmm. 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 Report done only when all the following uses. Okay. Error handling. All right. I mean, it's a little bit over, but whatever. I asked for XML. Medium priority. Skill.md. So this is the most important file in the whole skill, though. So confusing. Hey, Google, stop. That's for me to wrap up. Confusing task tool invocation. Shows Python. Okay. Yep. Buried in the reference docs. Okay. Let's do it. I'm just going to say do it. Or correct. Critical. Capture standard out. Okay. I mean, it never had a problem, but whatever. Populate the PDF. Good. Add some XML. Outputs. PDF.md. Too brief. No context. I'm just going to tell it to do it all. It's a little verbose. But, okay, do it. Next, let's go back. Whoa, wait, what? I've refactored the diagram. Reusable validation pattern. Okay, also, can you make me a, what, like a make? Do we have a make file anywhere? Yeah, there's a Python make file. I thought so. Oops. Or let's just, oops. What is that? Build and stuff, yeah. Can you make a make target? Okay, so let's do that. Don't ask, can you? it says diagram. What diagram? I don't believe them. Yeah, plant UML. Yeah. Wait, plant UML? That sounds wrong. That sounds wrong. Let me turn myself on. We're about to wrap up. Plant UML? It's plant ML for sure. No? Okay. Okay. I've used plant ML for millions of years, whatever. Okay, so that's fine. Java? .jar? Wait, do we have Java? We do. We're downloading a jar? Cool. I don't know if I like this, though, just as a dependency. But if it's a dev, let's just move forward. I don't know if I like it or not. This thing's doing a big rewrite. That's not going to be done. I got to log off for a phone call here, but good. Let's just read them, though. Let's see what they look like. Phew. I don't want to commit this. This is not great, but let's just see what we got. Whoa. Cool. Cool. Yeah. Filling PDF form skill. So the point is, in plant UML, that's all like captured, you know, like in other words, this, like, let's just view this, right? Packages. Yeah. What line of code is that? This thing's blocking me. That's 100 lines. And these things are too verbose anyway and things like that. So it's not even necessarily perfect, but that's pretty dense. I think it could be simplified. This is the first crack. That's pretty dense. So my theory is if XML tags help, because language models like deeply understand XML tags and that whole thing, if XML tags help in prompting, then a little cheeky XML or UML, I guess I should say, a little cheeky language about, you see, like dependencies and this sort of thing. It's similar. It's quite similar to the dot language. Is going to be it's going to be better than English to tell the LLM, here's like a structured kind of program workflow here. We can't deviate from this. This is a machine here now, right? And the language model needs to simulate a machine. Yeah. So I think this is good. I'm happy. And I want to put this in my skill.md when it's ready. I don't think it's totally ready, but that's fun. And so then this thing is like mid work. So let's, geez, I'm running out of terminals. Let's wrap up. Short session, just working on some prompts, and I didn't get to test them. Oh man. Oh, look, it asked me. Submit answers, interesting. So that's really interesting. What that tells me is the mechanism for the skill to ask a question to me is not explicit. It can, at least it can be implicit. Claude Code just asked me a question with UI, with little text interface, but I never wrote that into the skill. So it'd be great if I could learn how to make this thing explicitly ask. Needs help completing a Polish form. I mean, that could possibly be a route for, I mean, it's a bit of a, oh, perfect. This is great. Speaks English to Bob. This is a bit of this whole web server I'm about to open. I've said before, the point is it's temporary scaffolding. I need to have a conversation. Uh-oh, it had a API error or something. Quota. Perfect. Okay, so let's wrap up from that. So let's go into, I want to keep that open and read it in a moment here. Claude, I'm just going to have to wrap up in another window here. All right, / wrap up. Oh, let's just change the, was, despite the plan, was, the uncommitted, what is it? Okay, let's do that. I'll do a wrap up. And it should say, oh, we worked on prompts. This makes it much harder for an LM to skip validation steps. Maybe. That's the theory. You're so confident. I envy Claude Code's confidence. I envy Sonnet's confidence. I wish I had that confidence. I wish I had that. I don't envy Sonnet's correctness. I certainly don't envy Sonnet's ability to track reality. But I definitely envy its confidence. Okay, so we're wrapping up, and then let's just, and I got to cut out like a massive phone call. Someone called me, which I'm happy to take a phone call. This is morning coffee, open source, c'est la vie, right? I have conflicting constraints. So, but I'm happy to, I'm basically happy about rolling in some of these best practices. I even had some more ideas around that. Oh no, PlantML. Good, it's live. Let's read it and log out. I have like 2 seconds. Let's read the journal. That's November 20th. So I had my open source hangover, wrote code till 3 in the morning. The next day, not so hot. And then today, super quick, I pulled in some like best practices from Anthropic and updated basically the prompts. Still working on the Claude Code plugin, this PDF plugin. One super awesome update is the main Chatfield project now says, here's how you can install it as a plugin. This is not, if anyone hears this, you have to have Chatfield installed to your Python environment. So that's not said here, which is bad. But otherwise, that's the plan. So then tomorrow it's going to be finishing the changes all made. And I definitely want to put this plant UML as part of the prompting. That's the goal, to make this Chatfield plugin. The point is help it do any PDF that you get in the wild. Any PDF you get in the wild, which is a big range of what can kind of really come in. That's the plan. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.